sad when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Here we go. Here we go.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This defense for the Bears, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football up a triple option, you've actually called that play.
On play action, Fields. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Back to throw, Fields. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this...
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the Bears will take over possession here up at the 44. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Fields. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. 16 yards is the pickup there on a first down for Chicago. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. The Bears at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On the ready.
From just shy of midfield, Tua. And this one is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running left, here's Edmonds. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Alexander Johnson.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. We're scoreless after 1. Now a first down throw, Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Fielded at about the 28. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Play action. It's Fields. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
We talk about mobility in quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Back-to-back 9-sack seasons at Miami have firmly established Emmanuel Ogbah as the face of the Fins pass rush.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. This one to Bourne out on the left side. It's a pickup of 17 there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have the coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Eluding the pressure right. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here, and if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On first down, it's Fields. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Sliding out of the pocket. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off play action, Fields. He'll buy some time right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Completes a Mooney on the slant. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He continues to deliver a 1st down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
They'll fake the handoff, now Fields. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run with Montgomery. 42 yards on the ground for him so far.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is when you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
On 2nd and goal, Fields under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A huge play there on the screen pass. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Tua. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. Working his way in there that time, Melvin Ingram to make the stop.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bears on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Fields. Rolling to his right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Watch out for Hill on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings with it. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly it's some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a lot
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the return comes to a home right at the 44-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Second and 4. Fields going to get this one out on the perimeter. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Kendrick Bourne, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air is going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down, Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, they go Montgomery. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pinched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Chicago, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town.